Well, what's good, peoples? Say something.
Hello, this is our shout out video for the people who liked our status.
Alright then. Here it goes.
Our first shout out is going to Cynthia Morales, my Sancha. I love you and always will.
I love you too, Cynthia, till the end.
And okay, shout outs to Lillian Walker.
Shout out to Valerie Roscoe, I love you.
Shout out to Fabian Teles.
Shout out to Kimberly Lemis, I love you, best friend.
Shout out to Karina Morales. I love you and always will too.
Shout out to Andrew Villa, I love you.
Shout out to Gio Rodriguez.
Shout out to my sister Esmeralda Flores, I love you.
Shout out to Michelle Gonzalez.
Shout out to Noven Blank.
Shout out to Alex Moreno.
Shout out to Melody Sosa, I love you, and you're so cute and small.
Shout out to Erica Lopez, my deuces stepsister. I love you forever.
Shout out to my girlfriend Mercy Castillo, I love you.
Shout out to Carolina Basulto.
Shout out to the big homie Javier Anguiano, delinquent child, I love you.
Shout out to Dustin Kirkwood.
Shout out to Sammy Barrias.
Shout out to Jade Richardson.
Shout out to Zahara Pichardo.
Shout out to Blanca Huerta. I love you.
Shout out to my prima Emily Soto, I love you.
Shout out to Jimmy Lira.
Shout out to Anthony Angel Pinedo, I love you, YD Tiza.
Shout out to Alondra Gonzalez.
Shout out to Ryan Falcon.
Shout out to Jacqueline Juarez.
Shout out to Shayla Hayes.
Shout out to Celia Galindo, the one I love and miss.
Shout out to Angelica Saranda.
Shout out to Eric Garcia, the Canadian.
Shout out to Leslie Diaz.
Shout out to Andrew Krupp Luna.
Shout out to Ariana Gabriela, I love you.
Shout out to Silvia Velasquez, my mija. I love you.
Shout out to Amy Flores, I love you.
Shout out to Eric Torres.
Shout out to Alondra Ramirez, I love you.
Shout out to Fernando Ininguez.
Shout out to Carla Martinez.
Shout out to Jasmine Bashir.
Shut up, hold on.
Shout out to Samantha Swanson, my smart buddy.
Shout out to Carla Martinez.
Shout out to Diana Perez, I love you.
Shout out to Jerry Mori, I love you.
Shout out to Caitlin. I'm sorry, Caitlin, but yeah, you know who you are.
Shout out to... Did I say Jasmine? Oh, shout out to Jasmine Gutierrez, I love you.
Shout out to George Andrew Somariva.
Shout out to Maya Baldonado.
Shout out to Adrian Andrade.
Your whack ass group sucks. Shout out to Dante D. Woods.
Shout out to Alondra Panguisen.
Shout out to Davin Wall.
Shout out to Jessica Mary Montalvo.
Shout out to Greg Skate, I love you.
And shout out to Orquídea Medina.
I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Late. Hit me up more sometime.
Hit me up, strangers.
Strangers stop being strangers. Bye.